You're listening to Errol Parker and Clancy Overall, editors of the Batuta Advocate, on Desert Rock FM.
Hello and welcome to the Batuta Advocate radio show. We're here in Desert Rock FM studios out here in the Channel Country. It is a marvellous spring day. Spring Carnival is rolling. My name is Wendell Hussey. Errol Parker's with me. How are you, Errol?
Oh, I've been better.
You've been better? It's like that sometimes.
Yeah, no, I've got a fine layer of dust on me, but I didn't have any lung lollies, so I'm actually feeling pretty good today, mate.
Yeah. What were you down at the RSL club last night?
Down at the RSL, mate.
Clancy or whatever?
Yeah, just doing my ass. It's, as per usual, mate. I do remember walking out of there, and they had the shut-in races. As I had a bit of an argument with this bloke. He goes, "Nah, mate, they're shut in," and I was like, "Mate, this, as someone who was born and raised in Hong Kong, it's
Hongkonese.
It's something I find offensive." So
Few calls from Mayor Keith Carton this morning. Actually, he's not happy with you, but anyway, we'll talk about that after the podcast.
Keith,
Now Clancy is off. He's doing something with Bob Catter again or whatever.
I thought he was off getting his. As he's just turned 50, I thought he was getting his colonoscopy today.
Yeah. Well, that's that. Yeah. I thought we were covering with something.
He's got a body like a back road, that bloke, doesn't he?
There you go. Anyway, now we have two guests in the studio today, well versed in the art of podcasting, well versed in the art of talking, well versed in a lot of things. Bloody brilliant beers.
How are we, gentlemen?
What's going on? Happy to be here.
Now we've got Clutz, the more, I would say, deep voice, baritone.
Well, yeah, for those who are listening at home or on the tractor or in the car, yes, Clutz is, he has a bit of bass about him. Yeah, you'd say he's
strong.
The rich man's Clancy Overall, I'd say. Yes.
And then we got Das over here for people who aren't familiar with the bloody brilliant beers.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd explain my voice. Yeah. Shit house.
Average.
A bit like mine. A bit nasally.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, making waves. You're coming up into the ordinary rig competition down there in Sydney.
Correct,
Clutz?
mate. It's going to be a ripper of a weekend. Just got to get the rig out for the boys and give the big thickies a bit of a platform to be comfortable with. And
yeah,
I think it's something that you're born to do, really.
Definitely. It's been 27 years of preparation for this day. So basically, it's an accumulation of my whole life's work coming together, and we just got to reap the rewards from it now. So should be good.
Body positivity.
Yeah,
that's it. There's not enough of it, so we really need to bring it in.
So a couple of years ago, Clancy and I, we hosted the inaugural ordinary rig competition, which is put on each year by the good people at Budgie Smuggler. We hosted the inaugural one down there at the Ivy in Sydney. It's a great day.
Yeah, we've never been to the Ivy either, so
never
heard
really
great
been
things.
to Sydney, so it's I was describing it yesterday. We're Brisbane boys.
Yep.
And it feels like we're coming to the big smoke.
Going down to Sydney.
Going down to Sydney, it feels like we're going to the big smoke. So it's.
Have you taken out a mortgage for the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
I've heard that the beers are more expensive at the Opera Bar than they are at Suncorp Stadium, which is fucking outrageous.
That's
really.
doing something.
Yeah.
At least they're not mid-strength though.
No, very
aren't
true.
they? They're full strength.
They are full strength.
Probably they have glasses as well, not just plastic cups.
And they let you drink out of a glass, but I think it is tradition down there at Opera Bar. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after you finish your drink, you just throw it into the big blue bin, which is what that's what people call Sydney Harbour, which is Australia's largest open air sewer.
It's also recycling. That's where glass comes from. Glass comes from the sand, so it just
from
sinks down there, and then over time it goes and then just melts back into the earth.
Yeah,
so that's quite nice.
It's a good way to get escorted out too. It's
we'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
If a date's going badly, then you just hoik it in the water, and then those big guards come and get you.
So I know you would do, as you said, you hosted the ordinary rig there. I'm actually not too familiar with it. So what do you have to do a few challenges?
I got absolutely mugged off the first year. So they never said anything about the pool. So I've turned up there looking like I'm going to a fucking ram sale, like fucking. Sports coat, nice shirt, nice pair of jeans and some riding boots, and I turn up there and there's a fucking pool there. Yeah. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're in for, really. I think you've probably got more idea than me.
It's
but
like I've had to, it's a piss take of the old Victoria's Secret, so I've had to create my own wings and just tell my story through my wings. So do a bit of a catwalk and then some special talents. So got to pull that out of my ass.
Yeah.
And then, don't really know what else is coming. So.
Who are the judges this year? Big.
I cannot remember, actually.
Yeah.
I thought we were having this discussion on the way
walk,
down.
yeah.
And Brandon Smith I've been convinced he was going to be there, and then I realised he's currently plying his trade over in England for New Zealand. So.
They've flown him back for the
Yeah,
night.
That's what I thought. It is a
Just for the
momentous
event.
occasion.
He finished dusting. Who are they playing tomorrow?
playing
Ireland.
Ireland,
He finished dusting Ireland and he's straight on the plane over here to
yeah,
judge.
pretty much.
Got business
so.
to adhere to.
Yeah.
Should have seen Clutzy though on the way down. So, flying in, he's got his wings with him, and he's got the biggest bag I've ever seen. Almost had to go through the
Oversized
check-in. Yeah, but they let him on normally, but couldn't find room for his wings for the contest. So he's just got a black garbage bag as carry-on luggage.
With my wings.
Cut
so
it out.
He's
Few
literally
interesting
flying
looks.
through Brisbane Airport with
Yeah.
these fucking wings.
Yeah.
A few funny looks from people.
Yeah.
Like, what's in that garbage
A lot
bag
of
there?
questions, like what's going
Did
on.
anyone want to look in? Were people like, can we have a look in there? Or are they coming out the top of the bag?
Oh, there's some little ears poking out the
Yeah,
top,
okay.
so
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, you could sort of see a little bit of what's going on, but
Yeah, no. Well, like if you didn't want anyone to look, I mean, there's all these people coming by and they're like, "So what's in the bag, mate?" It's like, "Oh, just a dead cat." It's like,
no one wants to
remember
look
that.
at a deck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Got to get it home for the funeral.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But no, it should be good. We're looking forward to rip in Sydney over this weekend. So
Just make sure you rip in all before probably midnight, really, isn't it? I don't think there's much that goes on in the city after what, 10, 11 midnight, Errol?
oh, that's what they say, mate. But I don't really know. So
Yeah, I'm not particularly well versed in Sydney either. I don't. Not a lot of love for the place, as you say, Errol. Largest open air sewer.
yep.
We'll do some research over the weekend. Though.
we'll have to do a lot of
circle back.
research.
Yeah,
And come back out here and
yeah.
just let you know what we found. So
Yeah.
it'd be lovely.
So tell us a bit about this podcast of yours. I mean, the name's in the title, yeah.
Yeah.
The Bloody Brilliant Beers.
Yeah.
So when was it? About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I just used to sink a lot of piss at my old job and send him videos of myself reviewing different craft beers, little fruit beers.
So what was your old job? Were you like a bus driver or a pilot or a doctor? Or,
I wish. Well, I was trying to fly a bar, but I used to work behind a few bars, and unfortunately, we didn't really have the 4X and stuff on tap, so I had to try and expand my beer taste. And so I used to send videos to the
Yeah,
big fella.
Snapchats, they were quite funny. And I never thought anything of it. And then one day I went to the bottle to buy some beers, and there was all these, craft beers, and I pretty much just always drank 4X. I thought, shit, I wish I had one of Clutzy's videos to like reference my beer choice. But unfortunately, they were Snapchats, so nature of the beast, they disappear.
Yep.
But we set up a Facebook group where we could post our own reviews, and we made it so like friends could invite their friends, and it just sort of blew up. Had like a couple thousand people in there, like posting heaps of videos. So originally all of our content was gonna be based around beers and brewing and interviewing. There's heaps of different craft breweries popping up in Brizzy, so we're like, we'll go out and sort of get a tour and sit down with the head brewer or something and have a chat, which was great in theory, but then COVID hit, and no one wanted to talk to us. So we just caught up on Zoom once a week.
Yeah, I had to work out how to use a laptop, which was a real fucking spanner in the works for me.
No, but you just said you're 27 years old and you can't use a fucking computer.
Yeah, well, I forgot how to after school. 'Cause
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
mate.
it's not good,
terrifying,
mate. It's
yeah.
not good. Had the worst internet connection in the middle of Brisbane as well, so that really didn't help.
Yeah.
But, then we just started talking to each other about what we'd probably talk to at the pub because we couldn't do it. So
And then somehow we round up, like, we're good friends with the Farquhar family who own the mighty Caxton Hotel in Brizzy. And they have a space upstairs, which we use to record our podcast out of their pub. So, yeah, it's just we talk absolute shit a couple of times a week. And it's been going pretty well the last 6 months or something. It's been crazy, 12 months.
It's an absolute amazing room up there. Like, we are very proud Queenslanders ourselves, and the whole room is just littered in history.
Yeah.
We always say to everyone, if those walls could talk, it'd be absolutely incredible.
A rich tapestry. I wanted to ask, because you have blown up and you're doing quite well. But you're not the first kind of couple of blokes to come together and sit behind a microphone and just talk shit about what happens at the pub or beers or all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Why do you reckon it's taken off and it's doing well?
What's
We
the
don't
secret
know.
sauce?
What's the secret to
We
the
have no
particular
idea.
brand of dribble you offer?
Yeah, we have no idea.
I don't know, because we're just incredibly ordinary people.
Yeah.
Like, we're so, like, that's what we always say to our mates. Like, we're just two average blokes who just chat a lot of shit, which is pretty much like 3/4 of Australia.
Yeah, the thing is
So-
as well, like we've been mates since grade 8, so that was what 2008 or something.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, thanks. So like when we sit down and have a chat at the pub, obviously there's microphones and cameras and stuff there, but we would be literally having the same chats if we weren't there. And people always say to us like, "Oh, last week's podcast you talked about blah blah." I'm like, I've fucking absolutely no recollection of that at all. Like,
I'll say something in 5 minutes. There's a great chance I can't remember what I said at the start of this podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's just all constant dribbles. So.
yeah. Sometimes we as well will catch ourselves talking. Someone's like, "No, let's pause this chat
Yeah.
and save it for on air."
I
So.
think what's been good for us as well, though, we created a little hotline you could call into with just whatever, the froth line.
The froth line.
The
Yeah.
frothies. So we've got we like to give people a voice as well. So because everyone loves listening to themselves. So we get some of the punters to call in and we answer their problems or just. Well, we don't really.
No, we don't. No.
I actually don't know if we've ever properly answered a question on the podcast
or
in 3
helped
years.
anyone. Yeah,
No, definitely not.
probably just
But,
provided more confusion, but
Yeah, which is
we
pretty
try our
standard.
best. We try our best.
Yeah, exactly.
People do love listening to themselves, and same newspaper
do.
business as well. People always talk shit about the media and journalists,
Yeah.
but if you offer them the opportunity to get a picture in the Batuta Advocate, or if people can get their face in the newspaper, the Daily Telegraph, or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
well, see,
always up for it. I love seeing it.
In the early days, we used to have a burner phone, so people could call up the Batuta Advocate and give us their feedback. But it's always amazed me that these people who call up to abuse you, and then like you sit there and you listen to them, calling you, so you're fucking this, you're fucking that. And then you can give it back to them. And they're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, man."
Fucking
hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, "Oh, you bloody fucking lefties, you've got no idea how the fucking world works."
It's great. We enjoy that aspect as well. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
So,
we do.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
What percentage do you have to cut? Are there,
Oh,
I know
mate.
there'd be shit ones, but are there ones that you're just like, holy fuck?
Back in the
that's
day,
a bit much, mate.
Mate, back in the day, we used to listen to every call. And at the start, it was only 3 or 4 calls a week. But once
Yeah.
it cottoned on, we'd sit at the Caxton sometimes for 2.5, 3 hours doing a podcast because we're listening to everything.
Thinking back on that was so dumb.
Yeah,
We
we're
did
not
that.
the brightest blokes.
And we did that
it's
for a
really
while.
sharp.
You know what else is fucking so stupid? Like, if people have never run a podcast, they might not know, but we've got one of those things over there, a Roadcast, which essentially you plug all your microphones into, hit a record button, and it records everything, right?
Yeah.
For the first
Year and a half
3
at
months
least.
or something, when we were doing the calls,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
holding my phone up to the microphone.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
someone's like, you realise you can Bluetooth your phone to the
Yeah.
thing you record off. I was like, holy fuck.
Makes
So everyone's just hearing the
yeah, literally. Yeah.
Or you can just plug it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Easy as that.
We just don't think, essentially,
But
is what we're getting at here.
now we obviously vet all the calls now and fucking. We had this chat on one of our episodes. It was ages ago now. Telstra payphones. Why are they called payphones when all calls are free? Like what the
Mate,
fuck?
they haven't been, like, I know that you're only fucking 10 years old, but they haven't been free for very long. I mean, like, it's only been since bloody, this so-called pandemic.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, like, anyway. So we talked about how they're free phones, and we're like, we want to send Telstra broke. So whenever you walk past one, ring us up on the phone. So we get 50 calls a week of people, and someone then decided they wanted to do an aggressive hang up and just like bash the thing against the. So now we get 50 a week of people just going, "Hey guys, I'm at the Telstra phone at blah blah blah. Here's an aggressive hang up." Just slam, and I'm just on the train on the way to work trying to like
How
vet
long
these
has
calls.
that been going for?
Oh, too long.
Oh,
Because that's what I'm wondering. How
Yeah.
long has that got in it?
Yeah, well, the thing, I'm scared to get on there and say, please stop it, because I think it would just encourage
That's
them
going
to
to
do
make
it
it
more.
more,
Yeah.
That's the die.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. As soon
But-
as you tell them, don't do that.
The fun thing now is people will call up from a free phone, and you can see that other people have called from that same one now. So there's some up at Noosa that have got to run 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
The one at the in Caxton Street is just absolutely pounded.
Yeah.
I reckon we get 3 calls a week from it almost.
But yeah, we do vet a lot of the calls, and especially from the hours of 8 o'clock Saturday night till 5 a.m. Sunday morning,
man.
we get
You
some
can imagine
shockers.
the absolute dribble coming out of people's mouths when they're a bottle of Bundy deep. So
Yeah.
A
it's,
bottle of Bundy deep.
Bottle of
Jesus
Bundy
Christ.
deep. Yeah.
Wouldn't be a lot coming out of my mouth.
No.
Other than vomit, I reckon, after a bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you just, like, you have a bottle of Bundy and you close your eyes and you open them again and you're in a courtroom. It's bad stuff.
We love it though.
System
We do
reboot.
love
Yeah.
it. That's it. That's it.
So you boys, when you started the Caxton, was that just first recorded at the Caxton, or was it? How did it work?
I think D'Arc actually did a podcast with another mate of ours who used to podcast out of his apartment, this little apartment in Tenerife. And they used to rearrange his entire house just to do a podcast and rearrange it back. And Sterling from the Caco was there for that podcast. And I think D'Arc made the suggestion that we rent a space. And there's a couple other podcasts up in Brizzy that we're mates with, Pig Athletic Club, great blokes. And we're like, we should just rent out a space together each week. And we just got told, hey, go up to the Caxton. There's a little spot up there for you. So,
But the first episode we ever did was at my mum's house, remember?
oh, yeah, it was shocking.
so shit. We
Shocking.
literally used Apple headphones and plugged them into a laptop to record it. And then we did one with Danny Kemp
that was
on
probably
the Gold
worst
Coast.
podcast we've ever
Yeah,
done. It
we-
was our third ever one.
Yeah, we used to film with a GoPro, and at this stage we had little lapel mics which plugged into like your phone jack, so everyone's just recording a voice memo.
Fancy.
None of the mics
Very
work, so the
fancy.
whole podcast is just GoPro audio. So
Fuck with Denon. So and that was like, fuck, we've got a big thing here. We're on.
Yeah.
So
So
we're saying to him, we're like, this is the worst setup ever. He's like, it's okay, fellas. I started with a laptop as well that ran cords up to 2 microphones, and I sat in my backyard doing it. I was like, yeah, well, this is
Yeah.
a lot shitter than that.
yeah, yeah.
And now he drives a European car. See, that's the power of podcasting.
That's it. That's it. We're hoping to get there one day as well. But yeah, we've sorted our audio out now, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a few at home and in a couple of breweries and stuff. And then, yeah, COVID hit. So we're on Zoom once a week. But pretty much straight out of COVID, I think, we're at the Caxton.
Back at the mighty Caxton. So
What was it like? Because you're down in Brisbane, like you're essentially on the front lines of COVID. I mean, you had all those people who were jumping the fence down there at Coolangatta.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah.
get over.
How was it down there in the city? I mean, like up here in Batuta, we, aside from the first one that went for 6 weeks, that was all over the country, we didn't have another lockdown.
we were sort of lucky. We had that first lockdown, and it was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And then we just kept dodging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the likes of Melbourne and stuff got it worse than us. But
Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't know how they lasted because even that first 6 weeks was fucked. And it was
Yeah.
real weird after it. Like, the rules in the pubs and stuff were bizarre. Like, you had to be seated to drink at one stage. And,
Yeah.
like,
The bloody
remember that.
Caxton, I think, copped a fine because 4 blokes were standing up having a beer together, catching up.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's
just
insane. Like
crazy.
now, when you think about it, like, fuck me dead.
I don't know how businesses survived. Like, the first night the Caxton reopened, we booked a table, and it was like 12 of us for one of our
Yeah.
mates' birthday. The whole pub, just
Yeah.
us 12 sitting at a table. That was
You
their
do feel
only-
like a celebrity.
Yeah, that was
at that
The,
point.
the rules as well, like you can't stand up, you have to be sitting
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
It's
Like I
yeah.
get it, like you don't want mingling and dancing,
Yeah.
but also like just don't like stop people from mingling and
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very weird to me that COVID couldn't pass when you were seated, but as soon as you got in that upwards position
Danger.
of standing up,
Danger.
you're
Trajectory straight
absolutely
out of the mouth
fucked.
and you're on, yeah.
Exactly. So,
I didn't mind the table service element of it. That was quite
Yeah.
nice to be able
Yeah.
to sit there and just.
Oh no,
have
that
beers
was
brought out.
that was just like being over in Europe. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the height of luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having some bloke who, in this country at a pub, it's rude to provide table service.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you've just got these hospitality professionals like yourself having to play the role of a waiter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just un-Australian.
No, it really
Now-
is. Well, it's too much effort.
Now
I
it's
mean,
just
really.
back to fucking trying to get a dominant shoulder in front of like a couple of 18-year-olds at the,
Yeah.
That's
at the
it.
bar, and then standing behind 4 girls who order like 8 cocktails,
Yeah.
4 different varieties.
Yeah, at a
Yeah.
pub.
At a
That
pub,
had
yeah.
half the ingredients to make.
The
it.
average drinks per minute decreases significantly.
In the last 10 minutes of happy hour.
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
just got to
Oh,
wait.
Gotta
it's
get 'em in.
crazy.
Gotta get 'em in.
crazy. But,
So you
yeah.
blokes, you drink a lot of craft beer, yeah?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
as much these days, but during lockdown,
Yeah.
I was trying a new one every day. I think almost. You go up to the bottle at the start of the week, grab a couple of different 4-packs, and just sit there and play some Xbox. Drink.
It depends on the occasion, I think. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to, if you're strapping in for a big day, there's no way you're choosing a craft beer, really.
Oh, no, well, you can't. I mean, like, I don't know about you guys, but every time I go hammer and tong on the crafties, the next day it feels like I've been electrocuted.
Yeah, it is.
It feels like hammer and tongs. It feels like someone has taken the top off my brain, got the tongs,
I don't know what
taken
it
it
is.
out, and are just hitting it with a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
What's the worst craft beer hangover you've ever had?
I had one in COVID that lasted for like 2.5 days, like talking Wednesday morning at working from home, like shaking with anxiety from drinking craft beers with my brother in the garage. So that would be right up there for me. I get bad hangovers too.
You do.
Like really bad.
I think the worst I've ever had was off little IPAs, the Indian Pale Ale, which I'm still confused why it's a pale ale because it's a fairly dark beer. So I'm just something that always blows my mind.
Also, what makes it Indian?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they were brewing beer to be able to get their own beer, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But
It was the English when they were over there. They were brewing beer.
really,
So there you go.
There you go.
Far
Learn
out
something
there.
new every day.
Little
See?
quirky
you learn something
history.
new every day. That's lovely. But I had a night on the Indian Pale Ales, and they are just heavy hoppy beers. And the next day was one of the worst days I've ever experienced. Like I couldn't open my eyes.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It's the preservatives and stuff, isn't it?
No,
All the
I don't
additives and
know.
preservatives and everything.
I had the fucking worst one I've had was at the Bathurst 1000. We're up on the hill there in the bacon sun, just hooking into these. Like the first two were quite nice, but we had a lot of our piss taken by the cops on the way in.
Yeah.
So we only had that left, and I was like so burnt, and I'd had like fucking 15 of these little cans, and
Oh no.
and I was camping up there too, and then like I just remember pushing back the canvas on the swag, and I was in the baking sun in the morning,
No.
and I've just opened my eyes, and I've just it was indescribable.
Yeah.
Just the absolute terror and just the pain.
Yeah. There's nothing worse.
Does not sound good at all. But
It is. It's pain as well,
It
and
is
that's the
pain,
thing.
it
And
is
you just know it's not ending anytime
I mean,
soon.
it's the like it is suffering.
I don't
like-
know why we do it to ourselves.
it's for the love of the game.
That's
what
it.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But
But
for
yeah.
the content for you guys, I
That's
guess.
it.
yeah, well, yeah.
That's rolled off the back.
We're like just two pretty average blokes, and we drink a lot of 4X, being Queenslanders. So we found that a lot of these craft beers are actually delicious, but blokes like us a bit hesitant to get out there and try them. So that's sort of what we were trying to break down. Like, we don't want to be talking about fucking mouthfeel and tasting notes and stuff. It's just, is it good?
Yeah,
Can you
is
drink
it good
a lot
or
of them?
not?
Yeah,
It's a yay or nay for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Do you still review a lot, or is it just
Nah,
moved into?
we've just fallen away now. It's pretty much pure dribble. But we want to get back into it, and like we actually launched a beer with a brewery up in Brizzy, Revel, like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to sort of stay true to our roots. It's a strawberry and cream sour. So it's pretty delicious. We did it with them last year, and it's back.
Pump full of strawberries and lactose. So
Yeah.
if
Sounds tasty, but also sounds like severe head noise if you were to have more than.
oh
I
man,
That's the
reckon.
least of your worries.
the head noise is the least of your worries. That's for sure. It's the tummy grumbling.
Yeah,
it is
the lactose.
all that
yeah.
lactose in
We
there.
found
yeah.
out the hard way last year. It's actually funny. We're at the brewery for the launch. Never had the beer before, and just pounding schooners of it. And I was talking to the brewer. I was like, "Oh, my guts are playing up. I don't know what I had for lunch." He's like, "Oh no, mate, that'd be the beer. Like, there's heaps of lactose in it. So make sure you swap out. But like when you have your next one." I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even think about that." And they have this other sour, the mango mac. It tastes like a wee spar. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
I was like, "I swear I'll have a couple of them." Drink it, and like an hour later, I was like, "Mate, I am no good. Like my guts." He's like, "Oh, did you swap out?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm having the mango mac." And he's like, "Oh, that's got 3 times the amount of lactose as the strawberry one." I was like, "Oh,
It was pretty crazy, but that toilet, they only had one toilet there, and it got an absolute workout that night.
Yeah.
I've never seen more efficient people.
yeah."
You'd hate to have some of that if you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah, someone
do
did
an absolute
remember.
number on your night.
This bloke rocked up. He's like, "I'm fucking lactose intolerant, but I love you boys. So I'm going to try this beer." He would have had a shocking night, that
Yeah,
bloke.
it was no good.
No, it is good though.
It's a great tasting beer besides what we've just said there.
Yeah.
But
Best enjoyed
it's-
in moderation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. It's a bit of
Yeah.
a risk reward thing.
Just
and you know
have-
what you're getting yourself into.
Just have one.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. And then drive.
yeah, exactly right. Like we'll be doing all weekend in Sydney, hey, just responsibly having one or two.
Das made a suggestion when we flew into Sydney that maybe we should have got a hire car, and I just laughed. 'Cause
Yeah.
there was no way that we'd be in any state to drive this whole weekend. So,
It was a fleeting thought.
yeah, and thank God it went away.
Just a
quickly.
little
Yeah.
I'll tell you
rainbow.
what though, I heard from this bloke, I don't know if it's true, but at Dan Murphy's, their best selling beer is Carlton Zero.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I hope that's
Al-
not true.
Alcohol free beer is taking over.
It is taking over. It's ridiculous.
There are
It tastes like
pubs
shit.
in. There's Brewdog up in Brisbane. Now they come from the UK, and they have dedicated bars over there to zero alcohol beers
in England.
In
Why don't
England.
you just eat a loaf of bread? Instead?
Or just have like a soda water. Like,
Yeah.
soda waters are pretty tasty.
Oh, there's this
Yeah.
thing called Coca-Cola. She's pretty popular.
Yeah.
You might just go grab one of them. So
No, well, I also heard that they're quite popular with like alcoholics.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a good way to break the cycle,
Like
but
a
you're also
vape.
getting
Yes.
that
Yeah.
mouthfeel, that taste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
and you're
understand
fitting in
that.
as well.
Yeah.
have you ever tried any of them?
Yeah, I've had that heaps normal.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
okay.
say, I've had that,
Yeah,
yeah.
mate, that's entirely drinkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They for some reason my office that at work they stock them in the fridge, like the drinks fridge, obviously, not just
There are a
the,
fair bit of degenerates that work at your place.
Yeah, there are, yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my old man, he used to work at CUB breweries, and his mates were like, you got to try this Carlton Zero. It actually tastes like beer. And he was pushing it on me, and I remember trying it for the first time and just went, this is, like, the aftertaste was terrible. I could not deal with it. It was just shocking stuff. But
Yeah, no, I was bloody at a barbecue a couple of weeks ago, and a bloke, he bought it because it was cheaper, and he thought that it was low carb. That it had no carbs in it.
It's like
What
the
a
old
rude
throwdowns
surprise.
getting a
Right,
case of
like-
VB. Oh, shit.
Mate, he had like 4 of them, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's pretty good, eh?" I'm like, mate, what are you doing?
You can drive home.
Are you driving? He was like, "Oh fuck."
no.
The worst thing is they're not even that cheap. Like they're cheaper. but
No,
it's
they,
still,
they
like,
should be so
cheaper.
much cheaper than
Yeah, I
they
know.
are,
Like
too.
you can't
It's
do
like $13-14 for a 6.
Yeah, I think it's like $40 for a
mate,
case.
half the cost of beer is in excise.
Tax and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, like, what are they taxing on alcohol?
Bubbles.
Free beer.
Yeah,
I
you,
mean,
can, you can get a bottle of soda water for $1 at Woolies.
We were chatting about it the other week on the pod, though, about how, like, someone called up and said, could you send an alcoholic-free beer to school with your kid
Yeah,
as, like, in
lunch.
the lunchbox to drink?
Where do we sit on
'Cause,
that?
like, it's an interesting one.
well, you can
But-
buy them at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is
A lot of
crazy.
people drink them in like offices and stuff for lunch.
Yeah.
Like, I got a
right.
few friends who reckon people in their office will just
Have a
get a
zero.
fucking Carlton Zero or a Peroni Zero and just have it with lunch because they're
crazy.
like, well, that tastes
I don't
good, so-
reckon that's pretty fucking weird. I don't think that's heaps normal.
Yeah.
You don't think that's
Fucking
agree.
heaps
I
weird.
agree,
I
yeah.
mean, like, sure enough, like you can have them like with your dinner, but to have an alcohol-free beer with your pad thai,
Yeah.
In the
just showing
office.
off.
Yeah.
Just showing off.
it's fucking grim. I mean,
Yeah.
just have a can
Heat up
of
your
Coke,
U
mate.
foods
Like,
and have a fucking heaps
exactly.
normal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Fair. Now you just mentioned jobs. Where are we at in the podcast journey? Nearly full-time podcasters or?
Oh,
I won't be for a while. I'm a second-year plumbing apprentice, so
Yep.
I'm going to finish that
that's
off
where the
first.
money is, mate. There's fucking no money in podcasting.
No,
Nothing.
not at all. So
but hopefully, like it's tough to tell. It's been like if you had have said to us 6-12 months ago we'd be where we are now, I would have been like, fuck, no way. So I think like would love to do it within the next 12 months. That seems almost unrealistic at the moment, but like anything can happen. So
yeah, but
we'll have to wait and see. But you're pushing for it all the time.
I feel like that's just like, yeah, but nah, it's not really
yeah,
finished.
Yeah.
I'd love to just fast track that apprenticeship and get out of the sun.
Yeah.
Because I'm currently rocking a cigarette tan at the moment. Got
Yeah.
the nice orange arms, the wide upper. So yeah, it'd be good to get out of that sun. But
Yeah.
I'll
Clutz-
get there eventually.
Clutzy reckons he's second year plumbing apprentice. Reckons he's seen shit once.
It's true. I do commercial and civil new
Oh,
builds.
like,
Yeah, right.
so you're working for Hutchies or something like that.
Oh, I haven't done any Hutchies jobs
Right,
yet,
yeah.
but we do like a lot of childcares and stuff like that, and the plumbing in those joints because those
Yeah.
little kids get shit stuck everywhere is ridiculous. So, no, we don't. I'm very thankful. Don't really do any maintenance, and I think I saw shit once, and that was midway through last year because we broke an existing pipe.
How'd you handle it?
I didn't. We got the tradesman jumped in and did that for us, so because he knew how to sleep.
As second year apprentice, you got out of getting into there.
Mate,
Yeah.
I work with some great blokes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know how I thought, oh, well, here we go. We have to get our fingers a bit dirty. But
Surely to get signed off, you're going to have to get your fingers dirty at least
most
once.
likely, but we
Yeah.
haven't had to so far. And
Yeah.
it'd be good if that continues.
Yeah.
Do the boys on site give the podcast a run? Are they?
Few of them do. My boss, actually, he had some surgery a month or two ago. When he was lying in his hospital bed, he was going crazy, not being able to do work. So, bit of a madman. But he started listening, and I was like, geez, you guys talk absolute shit.
Yeah.
Like, well,
That's when it's
I
terrifying.
love it.
there's nothing different to what I do at work. So, yeah, a few of the boys listen. The apprentices mainly. The older fellas don't really get around it as much.
Haven't quite figured out podcasts.
No,
yet.
no.
Yeah.
It's sometimes terrifying though. Like as we said, it's sort of our podcast is just the shit that we'd be chatting at the pub, which is fine. But like some of the conversations you have at the pub with your mates probably aren't play on for the likes of like your auntie or something,
Yeah.
your mum's friends, and then they're over for dinner and they're like, "Oh, I heard when you guys were talking about, some of the weird shit we talk
Mate,
about."
the thing that I've been experiencing at the moment, my missus, her grandma is on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
I've done a couple of things for Sunrise and the Today Show for Budgie recently, where I've been dropping it down low in the Budgies on TV, and she would get texts from her grandma being like, "Oh, was that your boyfriend?" Yeah.
Talking about craft beer, hangover
Yeah.
head
Did you
noise,
like what
like,
you see, Caroline?
Yeah.
Because it's a bit of a scary sight for
because Koshy did.
Because Koshy did. Koshy did.
Bit hard to translate through the generations there for the
Oh,
girlfriend, probably.
yeah. The pay lady loved it. I got a text from her straight away.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's been interesting. But
Haven't
We
run
love
into
it.
too much strife.
no,
Really?
not yet. Not yet. Well, hopefully we keep that going.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I
Right.
don't know how I'd handle the heat.
The joys of podcasting, the journey. Anyway,
That's it.
we wish you all the best in the ordinary rig. Hope you get it done, take
Thank
it home.
you. Thank you.
And thanks very much for stopping out here at Desert Rock FM Studios. Having a chat.
Pleasure
Love
to
it.
be
Thanks
here.
for having us.
Yeah.
No worries.
Stoked.
Thanks
The
for
atmosphere
coming
is
up,
electric
boys.
as always.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go well, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.